Hey, what's going on, everybody out there? It seems like I'm always making videos when the lighting in this room is like doing some like really crazy things. I got a really interesting question from um, someone on my Instagram. I hope it's okay to use your name, Karina, but I thought it was a really good question and an interesting topic. So, Karina says, I think an interesting topic for your audience would be the difference between giving love and making the other feel loved. Many people want to be loved, but it's important to actually learn how to love and not just please people in order to be loved. So I think that's a really good question, because I think love is something that is um, misunderstood by so many people. A lot of people really never understand what love is. Even people who claim to be loving and love is like a big part of their life. There's, sometimes we can confuse, like, as Karina says, like, we can confuse love with, um, try, with giving just so that we can receive, um, you know, to feel like validated, or sometimes we will please, as she says, like we'll try to please and we think pleasing is actually showing love, but the reason, the intention is very important. So just to start off, like what is what's love like? And I can tell you that from my experience on this earth, in this existence, is I've been through all those different variations of what I thought love was, and I have where I am today. I can share with you that I think that love, at the end of the day, it's acceptance. It's being able to accept people or things for how they are, who they are, what they are. That's love. Like when you're in a relationship with someone, um, and you're able to accept them for who they are, even though there are a lot of things that they do that are maybe not good or not right, or might not be exactly like what you had hoped for or wished for in a relationship. Um, it's so funny because when I first started making these videos back in around 2014, I didn't really like know about the three C's. I came up with my own three C's on here just by accident, thinking that it makes sense that what are the things that are important about a relationship, beyond, because at the time everyone was just obsessed with chemistry. It's like, oh, chemistry, chemistry, but there's so many other things that are a lot more important: compatibility, communication, and chemistry. So chemistry is that excitement. Compatibility is actually like the way you see the world. Do you have similar goals and values? Are you able to communicate and understand one another? That's the third one, communication. So all these are important, but now I'm seeing it a lot everywhere. And there's also so there's the three C's. There's also your attachment style. There's also your personality type. I mean, there's a long list of different matrices and schemata that like we can input our and find out, are we compatible. Then there's zodiacs and star signs, and there's all kinds of things, but the core most important thing about a relationship, I'm not seeing that talked a lot about, and that's love. That's probably the most important thing. Do you actually love this person? And why is it that we're not hearing about love anymore? We're hearing about the three C's: communication, compatibility, chemistry. We're hearing about your attachment styles and all the lists that I just went through. But do you ever hear about love? Like, do you ever hear about, like, well, if I love this person, that's important? Why do we not talk about love? Because we don't understand what love really is. You know, if there's a lot of people out there who do understand what love is. There's a lot of people out there who have experienced love and know what I'm talking about. Love is when you go through difficulty, but you're able to accept it because you're extremely fond of this person. You respect them, you look up to them, they're someone that you care for. Love is just another word for when you like someone extremely, when you're able to tolerate, when you're able to be patient, when you're able to go through the difficulties. Like how many new relationships nowadays, like with young people, how many young people are able to do that, like actually endure and go through difficulty? And not many. Like, people just break up nowadays at the first sign of, oh, you're a Cancer, well, I'm a Capricorn, sorry, this isn't going to work. Or wait, your moon sign is a Scorpio, well, I'm not putting down zodiacs. I actually believe in that stuff. I think it's like an incredibly useful tool and indicator, but I think all those things, they are helpful. They help us kind of understand who we are and where we are. And I'll do a full-on rant one day about my beliefs in astrology and zodiacs. In fact, I'll do a really quick one now, might as well. So, look, the moon that orbits our planet, it's so tiny, and yet the moon is powerful enough to pull our ocean and create high and low tides. You can Google this. That tiny little moon has a gravitational pull on our planet that even the skyscrapers in New York, when our Earth is rotating, the gravity of the moon bends the skyscrapers. So if that tiny little moon's gravity has such a physical effect on our planet, what is it doing to a tiny little fetus, an embryo inside the womb, when that embryo is just a bunch of cells? It's gotta be doing something, even if it's just 0.11% of some effect. So if the moon is able to pull our oceans, pull our skyscrapers, what is the shape of our universe at the moment where you were born? It's gotta be having some effect on a little baby fetus that's developing in his or her mom's womb. Even, as I said, even if it's just 0.0001%, which I think it isn't that small. I think it's much greater. I think personally, the position of the planets and the galaxies in our universe at the moment that you're born, not just at the moment that you're born, but at the period of time that you're developing embryonically, the shape of the universe, the position of the planets, it's almost like an astrological fingerprint like a stamp that goes on to us. It's like the universe just putting its galactic little imprint, gentle imprint. Like I said, I'm not going to ramble on about my beliefs in astrology too much in this video, but I did, while it's fresh in my head, wanted to share with everybody what I think. I absolutely think not just the universe affects us when we're born, but it affects us throughout our entire life. And I have met so many people that really exhibit the astrological studies that are linked with our personality and our characteristic. Now, does this mean that you're going to be like this no matter what? Of course not. It's just one factor. There's so many other factors: your childhood, your genetics, your ancestral lineage. What did your ancestors do? Were they farmers? Were they warriors? Were they travelers? What kind of diets did they have? We're just so brilliantly complex. We're like just a cocktail of so much stuff, of galactic stardust, of earthly landscapes and environments. We're such incredible creatures. Human beings were just really amazing. And going back to Karina's question here, or the topic that she wanted to kind of delve into, love. It's so important. Love. All the greatest minds on earth, whether they're scientists, musicians, the CEOs, we've got some of the greatest CEOs, they all eventually come to one point, and that is love. Love is the most important thing. You had Steve Jobs, you had obviously the Beatles and so many other great musicians. You've got Albert Einstein and so many other scientists that come to this one conclusion. Love. Love is when the happiness and well-being of somebody else genuinely makes us feel happy. That's when we truly love another person, when we're willing to put aside our pleasure, ourselves for someone else. It's not something where love isn't something where we're doing something for somebody else just so that we can get something in return. It's not that I'm going to help this person, I'm going to buy them flowers, I'm going to book trips on hotel rooms just so that I can get affection or sex or money or attention in exchange. Love doesn't need any of that. Love doesn't need attention. If you are a person that feels love, it's like its own energy generator within you. It blesses you, your spirit, and it blesses those who are on the receiving end of your love. It's like a unique, independent, standalone, magical thing that not all of us have the great fortune to be able to unlock it, but when we unlock it, it fills us like a spring and it radiates onto everybody around us. I would hope, and I am sure that some of you have known or know people who are like that in your lives, who are like this spring of love. They're not doing it for anything in return. They're just loving, giving. It's just who they are. It's how they are. I am fortunate that I have someone like that in my life. My mom, my mother. I have met people. I've been fortunate to have met people also who are like that, and that's a good way to explain it. Also, is like you look at the love that you receive from your mom or your father, family relatives. Even our animals, like dogs, are incredibly loving. I saw a really cool Instagram the other day. This guy was talking about his dog and the love that he gets from his dog, the unconditional love. And someone said, well, your dog's only doing that because you feed him and you give him food. And then his response was, well, I also feed a lot of humans and I don't get the same love from them. I give a lot to a lot of human beings and I don't get anything in return, you know? But my dog, I just feed my dog for a couple of years, and this dog is absolutely unconditionally in love with me. So love is a very misunderstood thing. Love is, and in this video I'm just throwing out words that I associate with love, and hopefully it will help, shed some light. But love is freeing. It's not enslaving in any way. It's not about wanting or needing or owning. Love is very, very much of a surrender. If you look at faiths like Islam, the word Islam means to surrender, and so it's actually, a lot of people say God is love. That's what it's all about. It's surrendering. It's about letting go. It's about taking a leap of faith. That's why it's called faith. That's why the true message of God, of Christianity, Buddhism, Judaism is love, and love God, love. See, the word God, I don't want to be blasphemous because I have my own personal perspective and view of what God is, but I replace the word God, like when I read the Bible or Quran or Torah or any other religious text, which if I'm reading or if I hear people talking, I will replace the word God with my understanding, which is existence, which is, you can say, the universe. But I believe, like God, personally, is existence. It's all that exists. I think an even better answer to the question of God is, I don't know, but that's why it's called faith. It's called people who have faith. It's because they don't know, but they have faith. And that faith is such a powerful thing, especially if it's directed and guided in the correct form. That's why pastors, imams, religious spiritual leaders are so important, because they are the ones guiding and educating people. But I believe the true message of all these great faiths is love, and love and connection to God, or love and connection, as I see it, to existence. Love existence. That's what we talk about when we say be present. It means, rather than looking and loving your phone, love, which is okay, you can argue that that's part of existence too, but you always have to assess how are those things making you feel? Are they improving your life, the life of people around you? I like to, when I think of existence, my surroundings, trees, the sky, clouds, the sun, especially the sky. We don't look up enough, and it's so healing. It's such a healthy, healing body language too when we love. And yeah, thanks Karina for this question about love, because it's linked not just to our spirituality, our emotions, our mental state, but it's also our physical state. When we love, we're like this. This is the position of love. Love, this is love. Love is this. Love is hugging, welcoming. And when you hold this position, it is very healthy. If you're able to walk around in this position, I remember when I was going through, as we all do, going up and down with confidence, self-esteem, there was a Harvard study I shared on my channel years and years ago, where they said just sit or stand in this position, and it's confidence boosting position before you have to do a presentation or a meeting, or if you're going on a date. This position right here. And if you're able to do this in public, even greater. So lay on your back on some grass in a park like this. You can even stand. I used to walk around with my head up high. Not easy to do in this world, unfortunately, but a very important a little practice. Most of us are the opposite. We're like this. This is fear. This is the opposite of love. And look, I'm getting thumbs up and weird things going on again. But this is fear, putting our head down. It's the fetal position. You know, when we do this is protecting ourselves. And this is why we have neck problems, shoulder problems, back problems, because we're in this protective position. And this is love. So it's the same in our relationships. If you truly love the person, you want what's best for them. You will, without much effort, feel good when they are doing good. When they are happy and they laugh, that makes you happy and laugh. I was in a terrible relationship where if I would feel happy and laugh, that person that I was in a relationship would feel angry and upset. That's not a good relationship. I mean, I don't want to say it's not a good relationship, because who knows, right? We all learn from everything that we're exposed to. So that was perhaps something that I needed to go through, and we're all in different situations, relationships, situationships that are, we've put ourselves in those situations because subconsciously we need to be in that place. We either need to learn through pain and suffering because we're making decisions based on the wrong things. We're maybe making decisions based on beauty, on sexual attraction. For a lot of men, it works like that. We want a beautiful, hot, cute, sexy girlfriend that's going to make us feel like, yes, that's, you know, that's like a trophy, right? This is how great I am, that I've got, you know. And we're forgetting that, hey, well, what about personality? Does this person have a good personality? Is this person funny? Is this person kind? Does this person have some good knowledge? Does this person have a heart? Do they know what love is? Do they know how to love? Are they afraid of love? Are they emotionally stunted and disabled and immature? Are they mentally stunted and disabled or immature? Yes, they might be physically hot because they've spent their whole life mastering how to look good, but as everyone out there knows, that's all going to go away. It's all going to fade in the end. The greatest beauty, I don't want to sound too cheesy here. Look, physical attraction is important. So let me just make that clear. There's nothing wrong with physical attraction. And we're all going to want to be with someone who is physically attractive and also emotionally, mentally, in their personality, in their character. But all of those things are linked also. You know, your physical, the way you look, a lot of it is also a result of what's going on in your mind. Are you concerned with like your health? So it's all linked. So I don't want to also say that, oh, we don't want good looking people. It's very normal, natural, and it's totally okay. But it's not everything. It's just a piece. And I'm sure there's many people out there who have been with that very hot, beautiful guy or girl and then realize, oh my God, this was very overrated and I definitely need more, more than that. But yes, does this person have a heart? That's important, right? Does this person know how to love? Does this person actually know what love is? Love, as I said, the ultimate love is when it's just natural, like this fountain that's been activated within you. And it's not the same as, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, when you're obsessed. Not that word, obsessed. There's another word, and I'm going to, kick myself. But it's when you're... some of you out there are probably saying it and know what the word that I'm trying to think of. But it's not the same as like when you're intoxicated or obsessed. It's not. That's not what love is. Love. The love that I'm communicating, trying to explain here, is like if someone goes, you'll still be okay. When they leave, you'll still be okay. It's not that you're going to, you're going to cry. That's normal. That's human. That's a sign that you have a heart. You're going to cry. You're going to feel sad. You're going to feel disappointed. You could feel angry. That's nothing wrong with that. It's good. We're humans. We have these emotions. They're beautiful. We must celebrate them all. Celebrate your anger. Celebrate your depression. Celebrate your sadness. Celebrate all of them. Don't villainize any of them, even 1%. But do we want to be sad and angry forever? No. Do we want to be crying and mourning forever? No. So we want to do those things in a human, healthy, natural way. Mourn, cry, and then we move forward. And if we have true love, if we had true love for that person, we're going to want that person to be happy, and we're not going to want to smother them. And we'll say that, well, if that person is gone and no longer in our life, number one, either they didn't love us back, or here's a better way to say it, is that the relationship didn't have the right kind of love. It's got to be reciprocal. And so it's not, so that wasn't good the way I worded it, love us back. That's again part of the confusion of love. Love isn't there for us to be receiving love back. Love is a very self-fulfilling thing, it's like air. It benefits everyone, especially the person who's, breathing it and receiving it. But if the person that we were with, for some reason, if we broke up with them or they broke up with us and they're no longer in our life anymore, it's either because they were not feeling that, the relationship didn't have that love both ways, reciprocal, or it could be for another reason, whatever reason it is. But if they wanted to leave, then why, if you have love, why would you want to stop them? There's that old famous saying that if you love someone, let them go, and if it's meant to be, then they'll come back into your life. Or most of the time, it's not love that's going on, and it's, the relationship was, the attraction was based on other things. It could have been physical, sexual, it could be about money, And like I said, men, we're more kind of on the physical, sexual. That's what attracts us primarily. Women, you guys aren't innocent either, but it's very normal and natural. It's just part of our humans. Women tend to want to be with someone, a man or whoever, a woman, another woman, who provides security. And what are those securities from hundreds and thousands of years ago? To be protected physically, to be protected with food, shelter. Nowadays that means money, financially. But it's also beyond that, because a lot of us were growing and we're evolving and people are becoming smart, and they're like, well, a lot of women now are making their own money, taking care of themselves, do not need a man to protect them physically, do not need a man to provide for them financially. This isn't all women. Still, there's a lot of women who love our historical, ancestral, traditional, roots. But hey, what's ancestral and historical and traditional to us now? Well, in 30,000 years or another 2,000 years, it's going to be different things that are considered traditional. Maybe in 2,000 years, traditional relationships are going to be, people are going to be like, I miss the days when we used to look after ourselves and make our own money, and we only needed each other for emotional or just to have. So, our world is always evolving, and it's important to always remember that. So, Karina, thanks for the question. I hope you don't mind me using your name. And if so, let me know, and I'll just put this on my Patreon only. And, for anyone out there who's on my Patreon, I am going to be uploading a bunch of videos on there soon. I've been making and just kind of storing them on my hard drive for now. But yeah, just to wrap this up. So, love is kind of a little bit, of something that we got to understand it more. And we eventually will, as we get older, as we age, time can defeat us in a good way. It will force us to be more loving and be less resistant and less fearful and less selfish, because if you age gracefully, you will learn along the way that being greedy and selfish and whatever it is, in the end it just hurts you. It just creates pain. If you're lustful and you're obsessed with sex, you're going to eventually realize that it's just bringing pain into your life and the life of others. Not just emotional, mental, spiritual pain, even physical. You can get people who are too obsessed with sex and lust can wind up with diseases and physical issues. So it's not just your spirit and your mind and your emotions that can get hurt, but it's physical too. It's all dimensions. It's the same with greed when it comes to money. You're going to eventually learn. People are going to learn, that the ultimate, as you see all these rich people, they love giving because it fulfills their spirit. Not all rich people, but a lot of the really smart ones, they enjoy giving because it's nourishing for your soul. How much money do you really need? We don't really need that much. It's nice to also have a struggle a little bit. That's part of the beauty of life. So I guess love is it's a beautiful thing, and it's something that we can definitely continue to understand more and try not to confuse it with egoic love. I did a video on this ages ago. I think I called it the 3 different types of love. So if you're interested in this topic, you can maybe check out my views on this from years ago. And maybe it was a better video, I don't know. But I think I just was talking about egoic love, where it's, we're people pleasing because the intention behind it is really to feel like we did a good job, and we're a lot of people are conditioned like that from birth their parents can unknowingly condition them to be pleasers, because we want our affection from our parents so we can learn to please. Oh, did I do good? How about this? Is this good? And if we are lucky and fortunate enough to have parents that can give us that sense of feeling safe, emotionally safe, mentally safe, without us needing to be pleasing. It's rare, and we should, as I said in my last video, we should never blame our parents too much. They're just normal people like us. They don't know what they're doing. They're doing their best. But if you're lucky enough to have a great parent who knows how to instill in you what love really is, love is blind. They say love is blind because it doesn't really care about money, religion, race, status. It's so blind. Love is blind that you'll see people who love people that they shouldn't love, shouldn't love. I put that like that because who's to say that they shouldn't love? Most of us are here because of people that they shouldn't have fallen in love with each other. I'm grateful that my parents met. They were so different to each other. And by today's standards, so many young people would say, oh, they shouldn't be together. Their personality types and their attachment styles and their zodiac. But I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. So, it's not supposed to be perfect. And love is blind. And not to go down another rabbit's hole, but I love it so much. And nature loves it so much. You can say God loves it so much, or existence loves it so much when you see multi-racial marriages and children. When we marry and have children within our family, nature doesn't like that because it's, you'll see the children have issues with disease and, inbreeding, just it's not good. But when you see that blind, when they say love is blind to religion, sometimes you'll see Jewish and Muslim, or you'll see black and white, or you'll see, Asian, and just mixes. Whenever you see those mixes happen, their children are the most incredible, gorgeous. The genetics, if you look at countries that have such a diverse genetic pool, you can see that nature loves that. I train with Brazilians every day, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and the Brazilians had slavery, from Africa. They had slaves over there. They had the Portuguese. They had the indigenous people who lived in Brazil. They had even a lot of German people there, all kinds. And then if you just look at them, they look like action figures, So look, we're all beautiful at the end of the day, all of us, and our genetic ancestry, is incredible. We have to be so grateful for every little tiny thing that we have. If we're able to breathe, that's a blessing, and if we're able to love, I think that's the greatest blessing of all. And I will wrap this video up there, and I hope that we all will be more immersed in love. It's just the more intelligent, wiser way for us to move forward as a species. Anyways, adios for now, and thanks again for the good questions.